the after we study the five search of a verb, we will briefly study a phrase of a transitive verb with a preposition. This is able to be understood as an idiom that is familiar with us as a set of expressions. Let's study briefly about it. Because the phrase of the transitive verb includes a preposition. A phrase of a transitive verb and a preposition is able to convey a derived definition depending on the specific condition as the premise that the phrase is applied in. The derived definition is applied by the speaker on the premise that the definitions of the transitive verb and the preposition are adjusted and converted to describe the specific condition because of the repeated description. In the 2 pages, we can understand and admit that the original definition of the transitive verb can be converted. Because of the repetition. Let's study an example. A boy counts the numbers of the lamb on a field. There, in this class, the phrase of the transitive verb count on is applied in. In the original definition of the transitive verb count, we can think of the number. And from the original definition of the preposition on, we can understand that the subject exists on a field, on the object, in the upper part of the object. And in the frequent usage, we apply the combination of the transitive verb count and on. To have the same definition as the phrase rely on and depend on. We can wonder about how the phrase of the transitive verb count on has the same usage as the other phrases rely on and depend on. The subject, a boy, conveys the action indicated by the transitive verb count to the object, the number of the lamb, of the transitive verb. The reason why the action indicated by the transitive verb count is actualized is that the subject considers the assessed value of the assessed value of the object as important. The subject a boy of the preposition on exists higher than the position indicated by the object of field of the preposition as a supportive background. The definition of the preposition on is sublimated into the metaphysical context. Supportive background. The original definition of the preposition on only describes the physical position that is identified from the other object. And in this point, we can understand the definition of the preposition on is changed into the metaphysical context. We focus on the meaning of applying the preposition on. The supportive background can be the basis for the subject to actualize the action indicated by the transitive verb count. With the fact that the object of field of the preposition that the subject conveys the action indicated by the transitive verb count to the important object, the number of lamb, the speaker connotes a premise. The premise is that the object of field of the preposition as the supportive background is the place that the subject of boy feels the relief on and relies on. So we can think of this when we do an important affair. We try to find a safe place because we want to be protected while we take on the mission. In this context, we can think of the place of field. Where is a field? A field is the safe place.